Writers Guild West announced a tentative agreement with the AMPTP, the studios. The WGA released on social media the news that a deal was struck with an agreement in principle on all deal points, but no details of the deal were released. Instead, the WGA negotiating committee asked members to be patient. That's because the deal points will remain secret until the last, quote, I is dotted in the memorandum of agreement. But the deal is described in the announcement as exceptional with meaningful gains and protections. The WGA strike is not ended, suspended, however. The picket signs do come down. Writers are encouraged to join SAG-AFTRA's picket lines. Here's a couple of statements from our politician, L.A. Mayor Karen Bass, releasing a statement tonight that reads in part, after a nearly 5-month-long strike, I am grateful that the Writers Guild of America and the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers have reached a fair agreement, and I'm hopeful that the same can happen soon with the Screen Actors Guild. From Gavin Newsom, our governor, his statement reads in part, I am grateful that the two sides have come together to reach an agreement that benefits all parties involved and can put a major piece of California's economy back to work.
And joining us now, entertainment attorney Jonathan Handel, who's been providing us updates throughout the entire writers' strike. Jonathan, so good to see you. Thank you for joining us late on a Sunday night. The WGA called this deal exceptional, as Susan referenced, but said members should still not return to work. So what do we know about this?
Well, we're hearing that, that it was a strong deal on multiple points. We're not hearing much in the way of details, as you point out. Those will come over the next several days, and then maybe in a week or two, the actual contract language gets released. But the issue of the members returning to work, I think, is one that people are going to be very interested in. The normal procedure is that members don't return to work until the ratification vote is concluded, which takes 2 to 3 weeks typically. But the Guild indicated in an email to members that they were going to propose and seek to lift the strike itself during the vote so that members could return to work on the assumption that the contract will be ratified, which it certainly will be. I mean, it only takes a 50% vote, and everyone is very eager, I think, to get back to work.
Well, that's in conflict with what I had read that suggested that they wanted to honor SAG-AFTRA's picket line and not return to work. And I realize that's a critical point, Jonathan. Can you be a little clearer?
Yeah, no, they are encouraging workers to join SAG's picket line in solidarity, encouraging writers to join SAG's picket line in solidarity, and not to be picketing in the name of the Writers Guild at this point. But they are not saying don't go there, and they are saying don't go back to work until the Guild specifically authorizes that. But the Guild did also say they are going to specifically seek to approve lifting the strike restriction itself.
And that news release suggests that there is quite the process before members, general rank and file members, will even see what the deal looks like.
Well, that's right, Susan. There is a process. They have to prepare summary materials for the rank and file that they will send out. And that's what people will be voting on. So anywhere from a 3 to 10-page summary of deal points. The actual contract language itself is typically 50 to 70 pages. It modifies an existing agreement that itself is about 800 pages, and none of that means anything much to virtually any of the members, save for those who happen to be lawyers as well and are sort of steeped in the details of the Guild agreement. So the summary is what people vote based on, and that's not prepared yet.
And we know that the timeline might be a little delayed, we're hearing, because of Yom Kippur. So what does the timeline look like? What's next?
So on Tuesday, the board of the Writers Guild West and the council of the Writers Guild East will vote. They will certainly vote to approve the deal. And then that will begin the process of preparing the member materials. Take a few days for that, I think, typically. And then those will go out with a return date for balloting of, again, typically 2 to 3 weeks. Now, in that period, it's important to note the studios can pivot and start negotiating with SAG-AFTRA, which has said that it's ready, willing, and able at any time to meet with the studios. So I would expect the actors' negotiations will probably start next week. This week, of course, will be a short week because of the Jewish holiday, and people over at SAG-AFTRA will want to examine the details of the language of the Writers Guild deal in order to see what it means to them. So they won't start negotiating, this week, I don't think, but they'll start next week. That will probably take itself 2 to 3 weeks, because SAG-AFTRA has a lot of secondary points as well as primary ones that they want to resolve. And, even under the best circumstances, without any bumps in the road, it'll take a bit of time. And then they have the same process where the board has to vote, and then it goes out to the members.
Jonathan Handel, thank you very much for your insight. And yeah, it's not over until it's over. Thanks very much.
Big news.
Thank you.
Thank you.